Hi Nancy, this is Tom, Uncle Tom to a lot of people that will be looking at this. I want to show you a series of pictures that will give you some background on who we are and who we are all related to. In this first picture, I wanted to show this because the first time I met you was at the rehearsal dinner before your wedding, almost 60 years ago. And I didn't get a chance to warn you who you were marrying and who you thought you were marrying. If you look at this first picture, you'll see the handsome kid on the left and the older, tough kid on the right. That's me on the left and the guy you married on the right. For quite a while, it was thought that I was a special needs child because I couldn't walk. But the truth is anytime I tried to walk, the character on the right would knock me down. Even on one occasion, tried to throw me out of the upstairs window, and I was only saved at the last moment by my mother. You thought you were marrying George David Raymond, but in actual fact, our name is not Raymond, but Raymond. The Raymonds came over from Switzerland in 1750 and landed in Philadelphia and subsequently moved to Somerset, Pennsylvania. You'll notice in this picture the name was changed to Raymond. They had a farm on Raymond Road. What are the odds of that? If you look at this picture, you'll see that the Flight 93 Memorial is located just 2 miles away from the Raymond farm. Subsequently, my great-grandfather was taken by wagon train to Iowa, and he became George Raymond. From then on, our name has been Raymond. And everybody in the family whose name is Raymond, just remember that's not your real name. You're all Raymonds. Look at this map of Plymouth. In 1620, Jane's 10th great-grandfather, John Howland, came over on the Mayflower, and you see his house on the main street. 2 doors away is Cole's Hill. That was the home of James Cole, who started the first tavern in North America. James Cole was Nancy's 10th great-grandfather. So it turns out their 2 10th great-grandfathers were drinking buddies. You may wonder why there are a lot of good athletes in the family. The genes come from the Vaughn family, and if you look at this picture of Harold Osborne, who is Nancy's 7th cousin, he was the decathlon champion in 1927. That means he was the world's greatest athlete. And to all the beautiful women in the Raymond family, this is your great-grandmother. Didn't she have a lovely hairdo? That's where we all got our nice hair. About 1959, I was in Boston and borrowed Dave and Nancy's car for the day. We took a picture in front of the car, and as I remember, it was really cold, and you can see in that picture that some people were shivering. When I brought the car back, I was to pick Nancy up at the hospital, and I saw her standing on the corner, but in the traffic, I couldn't get over to her. I had to circle the block 3 or 4 times. Finally, I parked in the middle of the street and walked over and said, "Okay, Nancy, come on and get in the car." But that was the only way I could get to the curb and pick her up out of the freezing cold. I think that's the last time I went to Boston. I've stayed south as much as I could ever since. Jane and I got married in Japan. Dave and Nancy had never met Jane. This is one of the first pictures that I sent back to let them know who I was marrying. Isn't she lovely? The first Christmas after Jane and I were married, we sent this picture back on a Christmas card, and Nancy's reaction was, "Who in the world has Tom married?" We had a family of cats, newborn daughter, and there we are in our Japanese house, living on the floor. When we came back from Japan, Mark was all ready to start surfing, and this is the first time that Jane met Dave and Nancy. Isn't this a lovely family? And what is that Nancy has on her head? If it were colored orange, Donald Trump would have it on his head. And here are all the Raymonds together for a Christmas, but everybody's growing up. We had a 50th birthday party for Nancy. I don't know if we can count the candles, but it was a big surprise, and Nancy almost collapsed at the front door, but she recovered quickly. Mark continues to grow up. He's about 2 feet taller than Pat at that moment. And here is Mark at his wedding. We used to have office Christmas parties every year, and Loverboy was always hugging all of the women. Not sure just what he was doing to this lady. And this is Nancy with my mother. Nancy has always been a multitasker. We often see her riding her bicycle to Mayaku with her tennis racket and then going on to play bridge. Multitasking seems to run in both families. This is advanced multitasking in this picture. I'm told that if I tried to do this now, I would be arrested. This is my all-time favorite example of multitasking. Camera in one hand, champagne in the other hand. You are the greatest. You have been growing on us for 60 years. We are all a family of multitaskers. We love you.